tried to evolve into hasn't worked.
Tough game tonight for Sheffield United, make no mistake about that. Bottom of the against Brighton. Should they lose this one, there will be question marks about Chris Wilder, despite what he has achieved at this club. For Frank Lampard, victory here would push them into the Premier League. A bit of fun for Dave Kitson. Right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look back at the day that has already gone down in the Premier League. 2 big wins for Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Come back for that. You're listening to Premier League Live.
This November, watch the big games every weekend with Sky Sports and Sports Extra half price. This week it's Man City Liverpool, live only on Sky Sports.
Splendid, succinct Liverpool
in one of the biggest games in the Premier League calendar.
Manchester City are being merciless.
Get Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports half price for 6 months. Search Sky Sports Sale. New Sports customers only. Standard pricing applies after 6 months or if cancelling one element of the bundle. Minimum term and further terms apply.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track, and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews, and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus, expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tires. The Irish Tire Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tires. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tires below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimeters. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tire safety check to ensure your tires are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance PLC.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So, in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Walk to the shops. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go. All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. Get a completely free €5 bet on Man City Liverpool this Sunday. Claim yours now. Paddy Power. Online exclusive. New customers must deposit 1 bet per customer. Opt-in required. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to Premier League Live, our third game from English football's top tier on this Premier League Saturday of 4. West Ham, Fulham to come a bit later. It's Chelsea against Sheffield United for me, Tom Rennie, and the former Blade striker Dave Kitson. Headlines from the team news: one change for Chelsea, Jorginho drops out. Last year's Player of the Year, Kovacic, comes in. Still no Pulisic, out with a hamstring problem. Havertz self-isolating with COVID-19, so Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech and Tammy Abraham, the front three. For Sheffield United, Ethan Ampadu can't play against Chelsea. He's on loan from them. He drops out. Osborne and McBurney also go out the starting 11. Ollie Norwood, David McGoldrick and John Lundstrom, the contract rebel, all come in. So this is the third of 4 Premier League games today. Later, as I say, we have West Ham United up against Fulham. A return to West Ham for 3-time Player of the Year for West Ham, now Fulham boss Scott Parker. Earlier today, Everton were beaten 3-1 at home by resurgent Manchester United. We'll get to that, but first to the game that's just finished here on Premier League Live between Crystal Palace and Leeds United. Watch for us by Russell Hargreaves. Crystal Palace 4-1 winners.
Well, fourth Premier League win of the season sends Palace to the dizzy heights of sixth, and Roy Hodgson's men largely very good value for this thumping win at Selhurst Park. Leeds stay 14th. That's back-to-back 4-1 defeats for them, and Marcelo Bielsa's men looking worryingly tired as well. Luck not on their side either. Patrick Bamford thought he'd made it 1-1 against the team he was previously on loan at, but Bamford's goal disallowed a lovely flighted finish for an outstretched arm that was offside, set up by Matthias Klick. He was furious, and certainly that was a very frustrating moment in the game. At least he did score from the same assistee a few minutes later. That, though, the only joy that Leeds really mustered in South London. In terms of Palace's goals, captain Scott Dann got his first of the season with a powerful header on 12 minutes, set up by Eberici Eze. Eze's first in Palace colours was a brilliant free kick into the corner on 22. The youngster scored 14 goals for QPR last season. It's his first in the top tier for the Eagles. Looks like an excellent signing. Van Aanholt bursting down the left, his cross put through his own net by Helder Costa, who was sacrificed at half-time to make it 3. And back from coronavirus, Jordan Ayew getting the fourth with 20 minutes to go, assisted finally by Wilfred Zaha. Full-time score, Crystal Palace 4, Leeds United 1.
Russell, thank you. Dave Kitson with me, Tom Rennie, building up to Chelsea against Sheffield United. Dave, on this game that we've just watched some of in the green room getting ready for our game, Crystal Palace, they don't score many goals, and now they're up to 6th, having scored 4. Is this a season where competence is going to be rewarded? Because it just feels like anyone who does their job well and remembers that football isn't all about entertaining seems to be picking up big results this season.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for the steady bet and the normality in amongst the madness, it would be Palace. As you say, pretty stingy up top and pretty stingy at the back as well. Goal difference 0, but 6th position, and a very solid set of results too. That said, Leeds, for me, honestly, it's a brave team that come into the Premier League and play as open as they do. It's entertaining for us, but it's ridiculous if you're trying to pick up points.
A lot of people were backing Leeds for not just a good finish and not just a season avoiding the relegation battle, but also maybe a European challenge. Now, Bielsa is revered, and understandably so, but were you surprised at the positivity at Leeds United when they came up?
No, I think that's how Bielsa likes to play. He's always played that way. It's always been positive, attacking football. I don't subscribe to this notion that he's some kind of tactical genius, because if you'd have said to him after 8 games that your team will have conceded the most amount of goals in the Premier League, 17, he probably wouldn't have believed you. And yet that is the case. 14th, 10 points. It's not bad when you consider that 18th and down are on 3 points respectively. But you can't carry on like that. You cannot carry on having games where you concede in 3 and 4s. You cannot say, well, we'll take our chances and we're pretty sure that Patrick Bamford will dig out a hat-trick every other game. It's just not going to happen.
14 goals scored, though. Only the top 3 and Everton have scored more than Leeds this season, but could not get anything from Crystal Palace today. Earlier on, what a result for Manchester United. They went to Everton with all the pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following their poor performance against Istanbul Basaksehir in midweek in the Champions League. They won by 3-1. Watch for us by John Anderson.
Everton 1, Manchester United 3. A massive win will spark relief for under pressure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as United end a dreadful week on a high and consign Everton to a 3rd successive defeat. It didn't look that way on 20 minutes when Bernard fired the home side ahead from the edge of the box. But United's response was swift and decisive. Bruno Fernandes' bullet header quickly levelled, and the Portuguese midfielder then saw a cross elude Marcus Rashford and go straight in off the post for a half-time lead. Abdoulaye Doucouré missed 2 good late chances to earn Everton a point and was punished as United countered, allowing Edinson Cavani to get his first Premier League goal and give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a huge smile as he battles on, fortified by this crucial win. Everton 1, Manchester United 3.
John, thank you. Dave, what a result for Manchester United. They are a side who are almost impossible to predict, aren't they? They are fantastic, as they were today. atrocious as they were against Istanbul. We could do the same thing again for the RB Leipzig game or the Chelsea game or the Arsenal game. There seems to be no middle ground. What's going on at Manchester United?
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't call it an embarrassment of riches. I'd just call it an embarrassment of players. There's just too many players. I think trying to when you've got Bruno Fernandes who comes in, who's clearly a player, likes to get on the ball, can make your team tick, and then you bring Pogba back in, and in order to accommodate him, you start shifting Bruno Fernandes out to the right, where he's completely isolated, has no impact on the game whatsoever. Today they played him behind Martial in that number 10 position, that Scholes position, and he scored 2 goals, and he influenced this game, and he won this game for Manchester United. And there comes a point where Solskjaer has to say to himself, you know what, I don't care how much money these guys have cost, this is the best team for us at this moment in time.
Did you buy into the story this week that if Solskjaer had lost against Everton, he would be sacked? And I always think in these situations, because it's such a common story, isn't it? Win this weekend, pick up 3 points, or he's gone. And we do know for a fact that that is very much what's happened to some managers at some clubs across football history. But if Solskjaer is a good manager on Friday and he loses on Saturday, he's still a good manager, right? So surely he wasn't going to get sacked whatever happened today, because they think he's a good manager, no?
No, I don't think there's many people who think Solskjaer is a good or great manager in football, to be perfectly honest.
You don't think anyone at Manchester United thinks he is a good manager? He's been there for 18 months and he's got them Champions League football.
They are waiting for Pochettino.
He's free, mate. He's free.
You know it, and I know it.
He's literally hawking himself around Sky Sports.
Exactly.
Dressed like George Michael.
Exactly.
He's got the faith beard and the wham hair.
Yeah.
He's ready to work.
Yeah, no,
if they wanted him, they'd get him, right?
No, they do want him, and they will get him. It's all about the timing. That's all it's about.
So is this not good timing? International break in November?
No, I think
this is the sacking season, isn't it?
I think that there is most likely negotiations going on right now with Pochettino. Lengthy negotiations, contract negotiations. I think this all is being hammered out in the background. Solskjaer, we knew Solskjaer was a stopgap. We knew he was. Everybody in football knows it. Solskjaer knows it.
Stopgap's a few months though, isn't it? This is 2 years.
Well, that's the mess that Manchester United were in. No top manager wanted that job. They should have stuck with Mourinho. They didn't. You can only blame Ed Woodward for that, because they would have been in a much better position if Mourinho had still been at that football club. But they're going for Pochettino. Everybody in football knows it, and Solskjaer's days are numbered.
I can't help but believe that if they wanted him, they'd have him, and they ain't got him yet. So what are they waiting for? I'm not sure whether they think Pochettino is the right manager, because you have to have won something to be Man U manager, don't you? Or at least played for them. Those seem to be the two prongs of Man United manager. Listen, quick question on Everton. A great start to the season. We have been impressed by them. You know, you can't take it away how well they played at some points this season, but that's now 3 defeats on the spin. Didn't look great going forward. Looked even worse at the back.
Yeah, and I said this, after sort of 3-4 games in, and I said the same about Sheffield United at the time, when the league sort of doesn't really present itself as how it's gonna end up at the end of the season after about 10 games. Then I'll make a decision.
Yeah.
But I said about Everton, anyone can win 4 games in a row, and anyone can lose 4 games in a row. It just so happens that Everton have done it at the start of the season. I wasn't impressed by them. There's definite improvement, but for me, where they are now, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, that's probably going to be Everton when this season comes to an end.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be pretty pleased with 5th as well, though top 4 will be the aim for Carlo Ancelotti, I'm sure. But still, it's a troubling run of form now. 4 games without a win, 3 defeats in a row. Right, those are the games that have happened already. Later, as we say, West Ham Fulham. We'll hear from the Moisiah, David Moyes, at half-time as we count down to that one. Now, though, let's hear from the managers in our feature game, which kicks off in just under 10 minutes from now. It's Chelsea against Sheffield United at Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard and Chris Wilder, here they are.
No, it's a big challenge, and want to be clear going into the game that Sheffield United are an amazing team with an incredible manager who, if you look at the table, you'll see a position that is, I suppose, false, but nowhere near should we take that as our guideline of the game that we've got in front of us. I've watched them play Liverpool recently, I've watched them play Manchester City, most people would say are the best teams in the league. They run them both close, very close, and they are still that great team that had such a great season last year, so it's a very, very tough match.
This year they've invested into some really young quality players and some fabulous players at that, and they're playing in a manner of what represents the manager, and he's putting his stamp on it, and they're an outstanding side, and I believe that they're going to close that gap between the top two, and they're going to be in and around it right the way through.
Well, I mean, we've made some changes in personnel. We've changed the squad. There's been a lot of people speaking about that, and I'm just talking about Thiago Silva. He is a player that brings an attitude, a professionalism that is infectious. The players are growing. At times last year we were a pretty young team, and definitely one of the games that sticks out in my mind is Sheffield United at Bramall Lane, where they beat us in every department, and that hardly happened last year. So we just have to improve it with the work that we do, with the way the squad grows, and that's a bit of a process, and nice test tomorrow to see where we go.
If you go toe-to-toe with these teams, you just get blown away. If we'd have gone toe-to-toe with Manchester City in the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, you can possibly be, 3-4-0 down. So it's the balance of your game plan. And what's delighted me, as I said, we've been in both of these games and could possibly, not saying that we were a better side in both the games, I'm never going to say that in terms of the players and the teams that we're up against, but we gave ourselves an opportunity, and we have to do that at Chelsea on Saturday, give ourselves an opportunity to get something from the game.
Yeah, good results against Chelsea last season as well for Sheffield United. In fact, the last time they won a game, Sheffield United, was against Chelsea during Project Restart. A big one for us tonight. Chelsea looking to build on their 3-0 victory at Burnley last weekend, looking to extend their 5-match unbeaten run in the Premier League. Sheffield United, who are bottom of the table right now, aiming to avoid remaining winless after their opening 8 league matches for the first time since 1990. The players are in the tunnel. Kickoff is next. You're listening to Premier League Live.
This November, watch the big games every weekend with Sky Sports and Sports Extra half price. This week it's Man City Liverpool, live only on Sky Sports.
Splendid, succinct Liverpool.
In one of the biggest games in the Premier League calendar.
Manchester City are being merciless.
Get Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports half price for 6 months. Search Sky Sports Sale. New Sports customers only. Standard pricing applies after 6 months or if cancelling one element of the bundle. Minimum term and further terms apply.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the Ford Ranger Wildtrak from €440 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford Lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost to standard rate. Price quoted is for a Ranger Wildtrak with no maintenance over 4 years with a €1,750 deposit. 15,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Marion Fleet Management. Trading as Ford Lease.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €130 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop the full range online at currys.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
123ink.ie for all your home office needs, including printers, ink, toners, paper, label markers,
binders, pens, pins, batteries, boxes, chalk, compass, files, memory sticks, highlighters, glue, notepads,
Whoa! And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123ink.ie for home, for office, for less.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Chelsea against Sheffield United from Stamford Bridge. I'm your host, Tom Rennie. Alongside me is the former Stoke City, Reading and Sheffield United striker Dave Kitson. This is Premier League Live. This is also Chelsea's final home game before Remembrance Sunday, which is this Sunday. A celebration held in the United Kingdom as a day to commemorate the contribution of British and Commonwealth military and civilian servicemen and women in the two world wars and later conflicts. It's held on the second Sunday in November, the nearest day to Armistice Day, which of course is the 11th of November. A special reverence for Chelsea Football Club as well, long associated with the Royal British Legion's Poppy Appeal and the Chelsea pensioners. There are 50 troops here at Stamford Bridge today collecting donations from people in attendance and indeed people on the surrounding streets. They are watching the game as guests as well as part of the Tickets for Troops initiative which they do at every game. And so we will take that silence in just a few moments. They are playing some video footage on the screen at the moment, so the players will fall silent now with that music playing over the top, and we're going to take this right now. Both sets of players in the centre of the field with poppy wreaths laid. Row on row. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. Lovely tribute here at Stamford Bridge, as there has been around the United Kingdom in the last couple of game weeks. Right, to tonight's game. Chelsea unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League games. They last went 6 Premier League games unbeaten a year ago, September to November 2019. They've also kept a clean sheet in their last 5 games in all competitions, coinciding with the arrival of goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. For Sheffield United, their joint worst start to a league season in their history. They also had 1 point from 7 games back in 1975 in Division 1. Chris Wilder's side are without a win in their last 11 games in all competitions. Their last victory, 3-0 against Chelsea on the 11th of July. All the players take a knee pre-game. The Premier League is supporting the No Room for Racism campaign this season. And now we are underway at the Bridge. Edouard Mendy in goal for Chelsea. Back four left to right. Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma and Reece James. Midfield three, Mason Mount, N'Golo Conte, Mateo Kovacic. Front three, Timo Werner, Tammy Abraham, Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic injured, Havertz out with a positive COVID-19 result. On the bench for Chelsea, Willy Caballero, Antonio Rudiger, Cesar Azpilicueta, Emerson, Jorginho, Olivier Giroud and Callum Hudson-Odoi. For Sheffield United, Aaron Ramsdale is in goal. Back three of Ender Stevens, John Egan and Chris Basham. Wing backs left and right, Max Lowe and George Baldock. Midfield three, Sander Berger, Ollie Norwood, John Lundstrom. Up front, Rhian Brewster and David McGoldrick. Coming forward here down the right hand side, Sheffield United. Cross comes in away from Reece James' head. Good early pressure from Chris Wilder's side. In the area again here down the right, Norwood trying to find some space to cross, pokes it down the line to Berger, tries to turn Conte, breaks back here on the right hand side to Basham, who bashes one in. Chelsea clearing, and then Norwood has fouled Timo Werner. Just quickly the bench for Sheffield United, Michael Verrips the goalkeeper, Phil Jagielka veteran centre half, Jack Robinson, Oliver Burke, Ben Osborne, Ollie McBurney and Billy Sharp. 90 seconds gone here. Dave Kitson is alongside me. Early pressure from Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's a really strong start from Sheffield United, trying to get the ball forward into the channels and get bodies around it, and that's exactly what they did. Two early crosses dealt with pretty well by Chelsea, but you heard Chris Wilder there just before the game saying we can't really go toe-to-toe with them in terms of how we play because we'll get taken apart. It was the same for the Man City, but certainly it's a very, very strong start.
Chelsea wearing royal blue shirts and shorts with white socks. They kick from right to left as we look in this first half. Their goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, all in green away to our right, has just walloped one up towards the centre of the field. Out of play for a throw on the halfway to the Blues. For the Blades, they are wearing their home strip away from home. Red and white striped shirts with black shorts and red socks. They kick from left to right as we look in this first period. Chelsea on the ball right hand side. Ziyech holds the ball up, knocks it back to Reece James, really threatening and attacking pair of players over on that right hand side for Chelsea. Might be a tough day for Max Lowe. Ender Stevens over on that far side. Coming forward again, Chelsea. Tammy Abraham flicks it around the corner to Mateo Kovacic. In the side today for Jorginho, outright to Reece James, trying to put one of his trademark good deliveries in. Best crosser in the world, says Dave Kitson. I'm not doing that joke again, but he did say it.
Did I say world?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it's league, I think.
Premier League, I think it was.
Is this not the best league in the world, Dave? Come on, buy into it.
It's the most entertaining.
That's for sure. Entertaining day already today for those just joining us. Manchester United 3-1 winners at Everton. Crystal Palace 4-1 winners against Leeds United. It's been goals, goals, goals on this Premier League Saturday, and we are expecting more from this one too. Chelsea picked up a loose ball in the centre of midfield. In fact, Sander Berger has got there for Sheffield United, flicks it out to the far side. Didsey, David McGoldrick tries to keep it in, unable to do so. That's a Chelsea throw. 3.5 minutes gone. Chelsea throw it back to their joint top scorer this season, the centre half, Kurt Zouma. Now on the left-hand side, they will find a pump upfield to Tammy Abraham, who's brought it down. No offside, despite shouts for it. John Moss, our referee, allows play to go on here after Abraham is tripped. Cross on the right-hand side from Reece James, breaks to Chilwell. Shot on target, saved by Ramsdale. Controlled by Ziyech, who brings it down on the chest. Volley with the left boot over the top.
Yeah, and there's that cross again. I'm not going to miss a chance to point it out.
Well, you're not wrong, mate.
But it's Reece James, and the thing is, the reason I say this is it's the quality of the deliveries, but it's also the decision making. This time he overlaps Ziyech. He goes down the right hand side, and you think he's going to hang on up, and he doesn't. He spots the runner Tammy Abraham across the near post, plays it low and hard, fizzes it across that 6-yard box. It causes havoc, and actually Ramsdale makes a really, really good save from Chilwell coming in on the back post.
Started 5 of 7 7 Premier League games before today. Reece James in the Premier League, his best run of starts for Chelsea in the Premier League. Certainly seems to replace Cesar Azpilicueta as the leading right back at the club at the moment. Azpilicueta on the bench tonight. Sheffield United pass one upfield, another scrap for the ball, this time on the near side. Again, off a Blades man last, and that's a Chelsea throw which they take back to Edouard Mendy. Controls and finds a short pass to Zuma, back to Mendy again. Looks comfortable on the ball at the moment, Mendy. Brewster pressurising, Mendy looks long, nearly passed the ball into his own net, didn't he, at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago, but apart from that has seemed assured with the ball at feet.
Yeah, he looks pretty steady actually.
Not something maybe we'd have said too much about Kepa Arrizabalaga.
No.
Loose ball is won by Mason Mount. He thinks he's pushed off it by Sander Berger. Referee hasn't given it. Berger takes possession of it. Snapped away from him in a trademark fashion by N'Golo Conte. He'll find Timo Werner on the left-hand side. Conte then looks towards the halfway. And the former PSG man, Thiago Silva. Ball forward, diagonal to Chilwell on the left. Assistant referee on the far side says that's offside. And that's going to be a Sheffield United free kick. All over their own penalty area on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a good line actually from Sheffield United, and it's harder because they've got 2 extra players. I know they're playing with the 3, but very often it's becoming a 5 to try and stop Chelsea getting down those flanks. They've not made a good job of it so far because Reece James has got in down the right. And he almost got in down the left there.
Ramsdale all in yellow. Will blast this ball up towards Brewster. Not sure he's been brought in from Liverpool to win flick-ons against Kurt Zuma. He isn't going to. He's actually just knocked Kovacic out as well. Zuma tried the second header too. Commanding presence at the back for Chelsea this season, as well as a threat offensively. Down the left-hand side, Sheffield United with Lundstrom trying to release Max Lowe. Out of play off a Chelsea leg. Blades throw, which they take quickly and work back towards the halfway line.
Yeah, it's a tough game actually for Brewster.
Egan, big diagonal over the top. He finds a ball into Baldock in the area, gets the shot away. George Baldock, snap effort. It may well have always been going wide, but Mendy had to deal with it and does.
Yeah, it's a great run actually from Baldock. It really is, because he gets in behind Chilwell, who loses the flight of it. He does well to recover.
Trademark stuff from Sheffield United there. Baldock released. Chilwell wasn't quite ready for it, and it will be a corner to Sheffield United. 7.5 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. Out on the right-hand side, Ollie Norwood will look to deliver. Left arm goes up towards the near post, away by the head of the veteran Thiago Silva. And that's a throw in to Sheffield United again.
It's going to have to be better than that. It's too flat, the ball there from Norwood. It's got to be hung up a little bit more, give the Basham and Egan something to go at.
In fact, it will be another corner, which Norwood delivers towards the back post, away by Zuma, recovered by Lundstrom. Baldock fires one right to Norwood again. Down the line is Berger. On the end line, right-hand side, cross comes in, blocked by Kovacic. Another corner for Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's good from Sheffield United. It's good pressure. They don't seem fazed by Chelsea, or indeed worried about.
Taken short this time into Baldock. Sorry, Dave, we'll come back to that as Norwood combines with Baldock. Baldock cuts it back. Berger towards goal. Flicked in by McGoldrick. Brilliant play by Sheffield United. Superb goal from McGoldrick. Brilliant awareness. And Didsy's done it. Flicks it in. 1-0 Sheffield United.
Oh, it's brilliant play. It really is, actually. And this is the start. And the goal that the start from Sheffield United has thoroughly deserved, because they've taken the game to Chelsea. I was just saying there before that corner was taken, they're not fazed by them. They don't seem worried about the run of play that they've been on, and it comes from this right-hand side, and it's Conte and Ziyech who basically just get in each other's way. They both chase the ball. It gets played back outside. The ball up fires it across. Berger's on the edge. His shot may well be going in. It's going through a lot of bodies. But McGoldrick, who just peels off his man with the Cruyff flick, and Mendy's got no chance. It's brilliant football from Sheffield United, thoroughly deserved.
Well, who says David McGoldrick can't score goals in the Premier League? He's now scored against Chelsea and Arsenal. 6 goals in his last 15 appearances in all competitions. Certainly took him a long time to get up to speed at this level last season. He's found it now, and he's got the lead for Sheffield United.
He's one of those players that you sort of miss him when he isn't there. He provides that link between the midfielder, or the midfielders, and whoever's playing in front of him. And he's very, very tidy on the ball. I think I've said before, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Chelsea at the other end here, trying to find a diagonal towards Mason Mount, who just miscontrolled it. Chilwell's pass to him was good. It was a good bit of covering, defending in the centre of defence there for Sheffield United by Egan. Back three, John Egan, Ender Stevens, Chris Basham. All know their roles back there. And they clear the ball away. Chelsea had a throw. They've wasted the throw. The Blades have it again. 10 minutes gone. And they're leading by a goal to nil. McGoldrick with it.
Yeah, I think if there's a slight criticism or perhaps a weakness that Chelsea can exploit, it's that back three are slightly too far apart at the moment for Sheffield United at the back. There's gaps in between them.
Conte dispossessed by McGoldrick. McGoldrick doing to Conte what Conte's done to defenders and midfielders in the Premier League for the last 5-6 seasons. Nicks it back, and he wins a free kick for his side as well off the French World Cup winner. Free kick is over the halfway line, right hand side. It just seems to be a desire about Sheffield United in these opening stages as they look to get off the bottom of the Premier League table. That is certainly a motivator as Norwood looks long. Mendy comes out and gathers. He'll be annoyed his good start of clean sheets has come to an end. There wasn't a great deal he could do about that, now was there?
No, because he'd already dived for the shot from Berger that was going across goal, and it's McGoldrick who just peels off a yard and diverts the ball back the other way. He doesn't really have a chance. If he did save it, it would have been just because it hit him. He couldn't react to it. McGoldrick was so close.
Close and clever from McGoldrick. What have Chelsea got in response? Lots of praise for their improvements defensively over the last couple of weeks, Chelsea. But also offensively, 6 goals in 2 games as Werner crosses in from the left-hand side here. Across the penalty area, multiple bounces. Ziyech picks it up. Cleared away by Stevens before Kovacic could take over. Reece James gets Chelsea back on the ball. Into Kovacic, challenged by Sheffield United. And they'll clear it down the line towards Brewster. Zuma gets there first. Forward to James, back to Thiago, pokes it back to Mendy. Chelsea build from deep again.
There's those gaps again, and it's that same ball just dropped over the head of Baldock and in behind Basham, and Mason Mount is getting in there time after time.
Opening exchanges, Chelsea 54% possession, 3 attempts at goal. Sheffield United 2 attempts, 1 on target. It went in. David McGoldrick. Diagonal from Chelsea right to left, trying to find Chilwell. Baldock was with him. Great interplay as well in the build-up to the goal, wasn't there? Norwood and Baldock on this right-hand side.
Yeah, it was, and Chelsea got in a mess.
Trying to make up for it now was Tammy Abraham. Couple of step-overs, shot on target from Tammy Abraham. Last season's top scorer for Chelsea, didn't quite have the power. Rather bobbled through to Ramsdale, who makes an easy save.
That's nice skill from Tammy Abraham. Like all good strikers, just trying to get into that box. And once you get in there, then you're asking questions. Your priority is to try and get a shot off, but it becomes that much harder for defenders to stop you. And the ball was always sort of just under his feet, really.
At TalkSport Live, if you want to get in touch with us, let us know where in the world you are listening. At TalkSport Live, your predictions for this game as well. Hello to Jerry, who's listening to us in Cork, enjoying the action, been with us all day. It's great to have you with us at TalkSport Live. Where in the world you're listening, your score predictions. We always love your photos as well of where you are in the world. Tasteful though, if you can. Chip down the right-hand side to Tammy Abraham for Chelsea. He's got Lowe with him. He's got Egan with him as well. And in fact, the referee has given a throw in the way of Sheffield United there. There were 2 players around the Chelsea man, and they were certainly nibbling at his ankles, but I suppose you've got to die for that these days, and didn't do so. Going to be a throw in to Chris Wilder's team.
We're just getting a replay of the goal, actually, and it does look like a Conte mistake. because Ziyech, who comes out with him, is pointing and screaming at Kante, go with the runner, and he doesn't. They both go to the and after that,
long way from goal here, Chelsea. Sheffield United in their shape, disciplined side, as we all know. Back to Kurt Zouma in the centre circle. They're trying to pull the blades around. Reece James will go right to left again. Here's Chilwell, corner of the area. Mount made the overlapping run. Chilwell came back inside instead. Into James, on to Conte, left to Mount. Mount's cross in, whipped into just over Timo Werner. Was on target, a bit like Bruno Fernandes earlier today for Manchester United, but Ramsdale read it and catches it.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Mason Mount, and if anything, he does it too quickly because he catches Werner and Tammy Abraham on their heels. But it's a wicked ball in behind the Sheffield United defence, and Ramsdale does well to keep his eye on it, actually, because you do often see that everyone leave those and it ends up nestling in the far corner.
I wasn't sold by the potential of a flick on there, Ramsdale. Brought in from Bournemouth, £18.5 million to replace Henderson, who is now sitting on Manchester United's bench. Save percentage this season from shot save, 73% going into this one, which is significantly better than the man he replaced, who can't get on the pitch. You learn a lot more from playing than sitting on the bench, a great man once told me. Thiago Silva with the ball at feet for Chelsea. In the centre of defence, he will look right to find Zouma. Back to Thiago Silva again, wearing the captain's armband for Chelsea today. Bit of a roving beast, the captain's armband at the moment for Chelsea. Jorginho has had it, Azpilicueta has had it, Thiago has had it. Always with Kurt Zouma. Midway inside his own half. Passes right to Reece James. 70-30 possession in favour of Chelsea. They're trailing by a goal to nil here on Premier League Live. Tom Rennie and Dave Kitson with you from Stamford Bridge, this one. Later we go to London Stadium, where West Ham United host Scott Parker's Fulham. Here's Reece James over the halfway line, right hand side. Pokes it to the former Ajax man Ziyech, who runs in field, left footed cross, tries to find Werner, heads it back to Chilwell, cleared away, recovered by Mason Mount. Berger trying to pressurise. Conte takes over, centre of the pitch, spins from right to left with the ball at feet, finds Mason Mount. Clear tactic for Chelsea to keep looking diagonal in the air. Mount does so to find Reece James. Dummies to cross, away from Lowe, back to Ziyech, left-footed whip. Werner didn't make a run, he apologises for it because he should have done. It was a really good ball there from Ziyech, but it bounces straight into touch.
Yeah, it was a good ball. It's that shallow cross from just inside the touchline, on the edge of the box, trying to catch the Sheffield United defence running out as the Chelsea attackers run the other way, but the latter part of that didn't happen.
Yeah, Werner went way early. And would have been offside, and so the ball went into touch. 18 minutes gone here, Chelsea 0, Sheffield United 1, Premier League Live. Blades coming forward here, high ball towards the goal scorer, McGoldrick. Won by Thiago, cleared by Chilwell, down the line. Abraham gets there first before John Egan. No easy thing to do, he's done well. And Chelsea keep possession, they work it out right. Reece James over the halfway, here's Ziyech again. Left-footed diagonal, right to left, trying to release Chilwell. And again, a Chelsea player has to apologise for Ziyech, who's found the right ball twice, but the runner's not gone for it.
Yeah, it's strange because you do normally find Chilwell up there, or Mason Mount, or even Werner in that inside left position. And he's playing the right ball, but he just can't find a willing runner at the moment.
Well, I had a tweet in here from our friend Omo, listening to us in Nigeria. So it's a lovely picture of himself as well. Very happy today. I always love when people send happy pictures. He says, Chelsea not playing like a side who want to win. Are you seeing a lack of motivation in the opening 20 minutes here, Dave?
No, not really. I think Sheffield United made a really strong start, and their game plan seems to be quite clear, which is, as the away team, try and pick a goal and then sit on what you've got. It would be a foolish man who would tell Sheffield United to keep attacking Chelsea, and actually it's been all Chelsea since the goal.
But it's Sheffield United who who lead the Blades without a win in 11 games in all competitions since beating Chelsea, who's back during Project Restart in July. And they'll be happy with the way this game has gone so far. Chelsea a bit off colour, and Sheffield United have the ball here. Over on the left-hand side, ball is slipped forward from Ender Stevens over on that far side. It's worked back to Ramsdale now as Chelsea press. The Blades keeper have to just wallop the ball clear as he was being chased down. Relegated last season with Bournemouth, Aaron Ramsdale. Is he an adequate replacement for Dean Henderson, Dave?
Yeah, well, he's already made one very good save in this game. He looks very competent. I saw him, I think he might even have got Bournemouth's Player of the Year, which tells you a lot about Bournemouth.
It wasn't a strong field.
Well, no, it wasn't. But, you've got to be in it to win it. And what I can attest to is I've had a bit of banter with him over the last couple of months, and he's a really good lad, very committed. And like all the Sheffield United lads are, that seems to be the profile they go for. I think he is. I think they probably tried to twist Man United's arm with Henderson, and it wasn't happening. They've obviously got big plans for him. But yeah, Ramsdale, I think, is asserted himself as a Premier League goalkeeper. He looks very capable.
On the halfway line, the ball is with George Baldock for Sheffield United. Basham will then look upfield, trying to find Baldock's run again, who's done well to shield the ball from Chilwell and find a pass to Berger into McGoldrick to slip in the runner in the penalty area. Chris Basham intercepted by Chelsea, one back by Sheffield United. It's driven a goal by Max Lowe from distance, and the wing back got it on target, but it went straight at the goalkeeper Mendy, who catches.
Well, he caught it lovely, he really did. It's got a little bit of fade on it, but unfortunately it's straight down Mendy's throat. But well worth a try on the edge of the box. But Sheffield United look really dangerous when they get into those little positions just on the apex of the area where they can play those little triangles, try and get a runner in behind. And actually, it's how they got their goal, and it's where they play their best football.
Good effort from Max Lowe. Made 5 appearances for Frank Lampard at Derby County in 1819. The Sheffield United side in the Premier League now are having a bit of a run in this team. Always with Thiago Silva of Chelsea, their skipper, on the edge of his own penalty area. Forward to Chilwell, 22 minutes gone, Chelsea 0, Sheffield United 1 on Premier League Live. Thiago Silva to his right and Kurt Zouma.